The Brenda Perryman Show is sponsored by Good Samaritan Comfort Transportation.
Good Samaritan Comfort Transportation is one of Metro Detroit's leading charter bus companies. With safe, deluxe transportation throughout the U.S. and Canada, Good Samaritan offers low prices and superior service. On board our fleet of clean motor coaches, you'll find comfortable seating, DVDs, Wi-Fi, and a safe, smooth ride. So for all your group travel needs, let Good Samaritan Comfort Transportation take you there. Check out our website at gscomforttransportation.com or call us now at 248-742-9324 for a free quote. Leave the driving.
Good morning once again, and welcome to the Brenda Perryman Show. Talk to me right here on TV 33 WHBR, Comcast 20 in Detroit. And if you want to give us a call, 868-0342, area code 313-868-0351 or 868-4336. And did you get your Michigan Chronicle today or this week? First we have this, and then we have this. Quite a spread for my next guest, my beautiful next guest, Miss Kimmie Horne. Good morning, Kimmie.
Good morning, Brenda. So good to be here
today. It's good to see you. It's like a month of Sundays,
I know,
man.
It's been too long.
I know, too long. And quite as it's kept, I've known Kimmie for over 20 years. I mean, this is a long time. She was 5 and I was 16. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go.
I was 6. No, but Kimmie, welcome back from Japan.
Thank you. Good to be back.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the wonderful things you've been doing, and you have been doing some wonderful things. Always a lot of surprises, but for those people who don't know you, don't know about you, you are a lifelong Detroiter, right?
I am a lifelong Detroiter. I am a native Detroiter, born and raised. So blessed to be from Detroit, from such a musical, as you guys were just talking about, you and Luther Keith, how this is such a musical.
Mecca?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It's like growing up with and being born into, a true legendary city for its music.
Legendary city, and to keep it moving.
Exactly.
And you have kept spreading the word all over the world for Detroit. And when did you figure that you could sing?
It started really early on. I mean, I'm from a musical family. My dad was a singer and performer, and my uncle was a member of the Fantastic Four. And, of course, Lena Horne is my great-great-aunt. So it was always around. The music was always around. But I realized that I could sing when I really went into the music studio with my brother. And once I went in there and sang lead on one of the songs and heard it back with the Hank Cosby, who was a legendary also music producer with Motown. When we listened back to the song, I was really, really excited. And I found my new passion. So this is what I then decided to do.
And you have held on to that passion.
Yes.
You have built upon that passion. Now, when did you decide what kind of music you were going to sing?
Because I was influenced by so many great artists. I started doing a variety of different styles of music, ranging from jazz, pop, R&B blues, even rhythm and blues, and even rock in some cases when I was performing at the casinos. But I really, really found jazz to be, the genre of music that really, really just moved me. It enriched me in so many different ways, and it helped me in my own personal life. So jazz is something that I just decided to stick to.
And jazz is an emotional music. It allows you to emote, as they say. It's an emotional music, and it can go, you could be really hyper out there with it, or you could be really subtle, low-key. I mean, you could be Miss Billie Holiday.
Yes, and
you have
some of those tributes that I've definitely have incorporated into my show, like a tribute to Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, even to the point to where I'm working on a new jazz series to take it further from just audio, but also video, and that's going to be released. I'm going to be releasing that real soon.
I wish I could direct something that has to do with that, because it make you really. I have a tendency to like to study the artists too, and bring their continents forward, even though you may not resemble them, but people will start to believe you are them part of that performance piece.
Yeah, because
And you know what is a good idea? I just thought
what
of
is
this.
that?
I
You're
had
always coming up with some good
wait,
ideas.
wait, no. What we do? No, I'm throwing this out here.
Come on, put it on the table.
Just before you do the artist,
Mhm.
if you did like a quick interview as the artist,
A quick interview
as
as
the
artist.
artist, and then it flows into you singing.
Oh, that's very interesting. Now I know I talk a little bit about the artist before
But
I
you're
channel
on
them.
stage,
You're
yeah.
right, but that's a
it
good
would be.
idea. We need to put that together.
I'm serious. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be, the artist, because I have
I like that.
I
like
have
that.
a photo that was taken by the late great Hugh Granum in my family room, and it has um, Josephine Baker.
Mm,
She's
one of my
sitting at
favorite.
a window in the Hotel St. Regis wearing a pantsuit
Mm.
and this wonderful hat and these sharp loafers.
Oh.
And she's doing an interview for the Detroit Free Press. And it's just her in front of that window. But I knew what she was going to come out of that night at the Fisher. She was performing at the Fisher.
Okay.
This was years before she died.
Wow.
And I just thought that would be an interesting piece to transition out of that into her on stage.
That could be really,
so it's
really.
just something I was thinking about. Just
No, that could
put
really.
the little light bulb up if you're going to really make a video. Really make a video.
I like that. I like that because one of the things that I did with the video series, which is really, really slick to me, is because I've really looked and watched a lot of Sarah Vaughan and how back then they used to have the videos where it was just about the singer and the audience. And the backdrop was already set, and that is what I brought back. I mean, it is really. I'm so proud of it.
You
Yeah.
ought to be, and I've seen you do it, and I mean it's just fabulous, fabulous. And Kimmie has fans from all over the world.
No,
I mean,
thank you.
all over the world. And
Yeah.
I was in the audience once, so she had some Japanese,
Japanese
fans
fans.
there, and they were just. I mean, here, Detroiter Kimmie Horne has taken her
Yes.
sound out and has been all over the world. Now, you
Oh.
just recently got back from Japan.
I just
Would
got
you
back.
tell the audience when you go to Japan and everything like that?
Yeah, I go every year. Every year I go at around March, April, because it's cherry blossom season. And they even call me Cherry Blossom Girl. It's so funny. When I walk into the airport, I still run into people in the airport in Japan like, Kimmie-san, welcome back, Kimmie-san. And it's so, so exciting. But
What
when,
part of Japan?
oh, Tokyo, Osaka, Kobe, Yokohama. What's
Tell
the
me
other-
about the people.
You know, the people are, it's a different level of appreciation that I get from the Japanese audience, meaning that they will sit there in the audience and really, really keen in on what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're singing. And after you're completely done, that's when they really applaud. And it's very, light applause until at the end of the night they just stand up and really give me ovations, and it's just something that's really, really special.
Now, you sing in English and you do some things in
Yes.
Japanese,
Yeah,
don't you?
I sing in Japanese as well.
How
I do a couple,
diverse.
yeah, I do a couple songs in Japanese. But when you bring up the Japanese couple that was here in the States when we did the concert here, it was so amazing because after the show, and this is what it really is all about, after the show, what they did, they came to me and the girl had tears in her eyes. And she was like, you brought my hometown back to me. And that is what I get when I'm overseas. They make me feel so welcome. And so it just felt really good to be able to do the same for someone from another side of the world.
Right. Now, Kimmie, can you give me a few lines of a song that you sing in Japanese?
Okay, this is a famous one because in English we know it as sukiyaki. I think Taste of Honey sang it, but in Japan it would go Ue o muite alako namari ga kobore nai yo ni omowa dasu halo no hi ito ibo
That's one of my favorite songs.
Isn't
anyway,
it a beautiful
that song
melody,
makes
though?
me want to cry all the time. Every time I hear it, it
It's a
reminds me
beautiful
of a
song,
time in
though.
my life, and it's a
Oh,
gorgeous
mm.
song, and it's just so. Oh goodness, I have to compose
Oh.
myself. It's so heartfelt and everything. We
Yes.
have Clyde on the line. Good morning,
Good
Clyde.
morning, Clyde.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Brenda, for letting me call in on the second half of the show. I'm telling you, uh,
Well, we're looking
it's an
forward
honor
to.
to talk with you today. You seen me around. I've caught you at the casinos, and I'm one of your big fans slash fanatics because you're not only a great singer, but you're obviously a statuesque, beautiful woman, as well
Oh,
along as Miss Perryman there.
Oh,
So
thank
I
you.
just wanted to chime in with both of you lovely ladies that as we celebrate Black Music Month, and I wish more of us would, and I'm so proud, Ms. Perryman, that you're highlighting this because I'm a child myself, Kimmie, of musicians. My father was a band leader who traveled with people like Sam Cooke, Little
Wow.
Willie John, James Brown, and he and
Awesome.
my mom got together, and he plucked her out of Oklahoma City, and she's a singer right here, right now. She
Mm.
knows what Thea Barnes. You may know even of her. And I say that to lead in with that she introduced me to a lot of her friends in the industry. And this
Yes.
is like in the 60s, 70s, all the way up to the day. Her sister right now is married to one of the Whispers, the R&B group,
really?
Nick Caldwell. So I'm quite familiar with all the local Detroit musicians. Her good friend, Marvin Jr., just passed away with the Dells. Oh,
Oh,
what a
yes,
night.
Yes.
yes.
Mm.
Stay in my corner and all those guys.
Sure.
And recently, a lot of musicians from Detroit and like the Whispers from L.A. and from Chicago, they went to pay their respects to him at his funeral. Great singer. So I
Mm.
wanted to just send a memorial out to Marvin Jr. from the Dells as well. But Kenny, I wanted to top it off. I do a little singing myself. Richard Harrison knows me. I'm going to do a little something from you. James Moody. Remember Moody's Mood? A
Oh.
former Detroiter. He wrote this one, I think, in 1930 or 31. And this is for Kimmie.
Okay.
There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Pretty Kimmie, you are the soul who taps my control. Such a funny thing, but every time I'm near you, I never can behave. I'm so crazy about love, never knowing what love's all about. James Moody, you can come on in, man. You can blow now if you want to. We're through. Happy Black Music Month, ladies. A great show. Love you both.
Thank you, Clyde. That was fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, Clyde! I didn't know you could sing too. I thought, I mean, after last week's table talk, I just thought you could argue. But I see you could do some other things and watch table talk today. But that's such a wonderful tribute.
Yes,
And
it is, and oh my God, it's so heartfelt out there.
does that
It sounds
happen much? when
not
you're-
like that, not the way he just sang it, but I love the that was one of my dad's favorite songs. That's just amazing how you start singing that. It really touched me. Thank you so much.
Clyde. Oh, he's gone. Well, anyway, Clyde is wonderful, and obviously he's a big fan of yours. And Kimmie, in fact, that's a nice little song for you maybe to think about.
That's a wonderful.
too.
That's a wonderful song. I mean, I've actually sang that song before.
Oh,
I
okay.
love that song. Like I said, that was one of my father's favorite songs, and he also mentioned Sam Cooke, which is one of my
Oh,
favorite
my
as well.
goodness.
Who I have,
Yes.
I do some of his songs. I've incorporated some of his songs in my show, and also sing that song, "Darling, You Send Me," in Japanese.
Oh, you do?
Hmm
Well, I'm wondering about. I'm going to ask you to kind of divert on Sam Cooke a minute because people have been doing shows on Sam Cooke. They can't do the music that he wrote. Like "You Send Me" and so forth. Also, even when they had something on a True Hollywood Story or something, they could not do any of his music. Why do you think that their family has held on to his music and doesn't let people like do it for plays or something like that? People are willing to pay royalties.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's I'm not sure. I mean, that's a good question because I too think that it should really be out there too. But in some cases, maybe legally, it
Well,
may
I
be some
know it's
protection.
legal. I know it's
you know.
legal, but I love for the young people to share in this music.
I agree.
I love
agree.
for them to learn that music itself
Mm,
wasn't always there's a meeting in my bedroom.
Yes.
that you could romance a girl or a guy with just saying sweet things.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
saying?
know exactly what you're saying, and as a matter of fact, one of the women, powerful women that really encouraged me and kind of urged me to go into the jazz genre was Betty Carter.
Oh,
And
yes.
yes, and that's one of the things that we've talked about before. She said, you know, with these songs here, this jazz is amazing. She said, but the most important thing is that you sing these songs and make them your own, you
Right.
know, from your interpretation.
Right.
And which I think was so profound because when I was learning a lot of jazz songs, I was trying to think of how was Sarah feeling when she was singing this song? Where she really she clicked that switch for me to have me interpret my own life through
Right.
those lyrics.
That's so important.
It's so important.
It's so important because I mean, just the interpretation,
Yes.
make it you. You don't want, unless you're saying, I'm going to imitate Sarah Vaughan,
Right.
I'm going to channel her like you
Exactly.
do channel.
Right.
I mean, we want to see Kimmie Horne.
Exactly.
You know, and that is so very important. So, how did you feel about this?
Oh, it almost brought a tear to my eye because, you know, I am a native Detroit. I've been performing around for 25 years. Had the great opportunity to travel around the world and do all kinds of songs, meet all kinds of wonderful fans and people, and them follow me and for a long stay. So when I opened up the Michigan Chronicle, well, first of all, Steve Hosey, a good friend of mine, he called me, and when he reached out to me, I was in Japan on tour. And it was a wonderful interview because he gave me a set of questions to answer, and he dug deep, and it was very, it was wonderful.
Well, what are some of the things that he brought out?
You know, one of the things that he brought out that really stood out to me is about the story that I've already mentioned about me first starting in the industry and going in the studio with my brother, with Hank Cosby there. I mean, that was really profound because I didn't know that Hank was like a Motown producer.
Oh, yes.
I went in to do background vocals, and he asked me, he said, Kimmie, I want to try you on a lead. And when he tried me on a lead, he was so impressed. He said, listen to this. And he opened up my whole mind about going into singing because I was going to be a journalist. That was my goal. But after
You went to what high school again? Because I know
I went to Redford High School, and then I went to Ferris State University.
Yeah,
You know, I
they
studied
celebrate
journalism.
you and
Yeah.
your classmates.
Oh yeah, I
Too
know.
much.
But then let me tell you this though. But the thing that really moved me is that after the studio session, maybe about 10, 15 years later, his wife Pat Cosby honored me with the first recipient to receive the Hank Cosby Award.
You know, that's a full circle moment.
That's a full circle, and
That's a
and that
full-
that's what really meant a lot to me. You know, that we talk about in this in
Oh
this
my
story.
goodness. You know, and Kimmie, really, when I met you, you were with David Miles and Milestone.
Yes.
And your longevity and consistency, you've had a consistency out here that some singers don't have. I mean, they've had these times when they're, you know, up and they're
Yes.
performing, then you don't hear from them for a while. What have you attributed that to?
You know, I attribute it to my faith. I mean, just really focusing in and getting down to the grindstone and making sure that, you know, I just stay in the industry. Wonderful supporters, you know, keeping a wonderful support team around me. But I think the biggest attribute to that is, for me, just I put all my eggs in one basket. This is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm going to do. You know, it's like I don't have a backup plan. My only backup plan is me moving forward.
So you don't get out and work as a secretary in the day and then go at
No,
night?
you know, and that's great that, you know, other people can do that, but my focus is on
well,
my
when
career.
you
And
do that, when you do that, like you said, that's your focus.
that's my focus.
So you've had like tunnel vision
That's
towards
exactly
that.
what it is. That's exactly what it is, and that's how I see myself. I mean, it's amazing, but I love horses. But I always just imagine with those little blinders on.
blinders.
It's just it's that and I decided long time ago. I used to sell cars for a short period.
Really?
I sure
Oh,
did.
we didn't know that, everybody.
Oh, but let me tell you, I sold cars, and one day I left that car dealership from a 12-hour day from 9 to the evening, and I talked to about 100 people, and I got in the car, and I was tired, and I felt like, God, I worked my tail off, and I didn't sell a doggone car. And it hit me, and I said, you know what? If I'm going to be doing this for someone else, I'd rather do this for myself.
Absolutely.
I'd rather call on my own behalf. I'd rather work for myself. And that day, I left that dealership.
Well, that's so wonderful because, as you know, I taught school forever, and I did love it. I mean, I did love it because I
Yes.
taught drama, and
Sure.
I had the ability to teach at workshops, and I've studied with some great producers and stuff like that. But it was so hard for me to get out of that public servant mentality.
Yes.
In other words, as a teacher, I used to get there at 6:45 in the morning.
Yes.
My first class wasn't until 20 minutes to 9, but I was doing this, doing that. I just believe in putting 100% in. But when I got out of that, I'm used to just getting just the base pay, no extra, this and that. And so getting out here, and I have my own production company, and all these things that I always wanted to do, I still had to get out of that public servant mentality that
sure.
you're supposed to get paid for everything you
Yes.
do.
Yes.
That's very hard, and you got it early.
Well, you know what? There still was a transition, though. Even with you being focused and knowing what it is that you really want to do. I mean, even as a singer, I didn't start out as like a lead singer. There's still a transition that I had to go through from, like you said, working with David Miles and Milestone, working as a background singer with Norma Jean Bell and the All
I
Stars.
remember that.
Working with even groups before then, Intrigue, New Life, a group. So there was still a transition before I came to the Kimmie Horne show.
Well, don't you think that patience has a lot to do with that, too, as you're going on? Bob Marley always said, everyone wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Sometimes you have to go through the
That's
things
right.
like the backup singer, this,
yeah.
that, and the other thing. And sometimes there are some people who want to leap into stardom right immediately, and they don't have that patience, and I think it kind of undercuts what they're...
My patience really has been equivalent to my my love and passion for just doing it. So I almost feel like I don't know if I've been patient. I just have enjoyed it so much, and I love every step of the way. I mean, from rapping chords to helping set up my own sound system, checking my microphone, going out shopping for equipment, to performing, to booking myself, to coming in and having limos wait on me, now to where it's like Kimmie Horne's in the... Sometimes it's still hard for me to grasp that, but...
Well, like they say, you start off being chief cook and bottle washer. You're doing everything.
Exactly.
Everything, and you
know
should know how to
Yes.
do everything, too.
Yes.
Because you never know. You might have to teach somebody how to do these things.
This is true. Or do it yourself at the last minute.
Oh, please. I think we've all been there. Oh, you're making me laugh. We've all been there saying, wait, hey,
Right.
where are the people who are supposed to do this?
But that's the great part about it,
I
though.
know it
Like
is.
we
It's
can laugh
part of-
about it.
I mean, we can laugh about it now, but
you have to.
people don't know. Because this morning, I was telling Michael, I was bringing all this equipment out of the house. I was almost falling down the stairs. I had to, because I have 2 shows. I have backdrops. I have,
Yes.
microphones. I have all this stuff. I said, I wish they could see me now, But we do what we have to do to make it happen.
And let me tell you this funny story. You have me really laughing now because I remember when I first transitioned from background to lead singer. And it's like, okay, this is serious. Now it's like I have to I have to pass out my own flyers and but It was great, but it was so funny because I always tell this story because here I am on stage 1 minute and like diva, made up and everything. And then after the show, because I had another show the next day and this was the Kimmie Horne show, we had flyers, my manager and I put on a little hood, Brenda, put on some little glasses, my little flats, so nobody knew who I was. And I was out there sticking them on everybody after I performed, but those are stories those enrich to me my life. That's what I laugh about. When
we
I talk
still
to
have
other,
5 minutes if you have a question for Kimmie, 8680342. But we're having so much fun
I'm
talking
telling
here.
you.
But you would put on your little thing. They don't see me now. I used to talk when I was on that national tour. I used to talk about school marm Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday morning I used to have to jump on the limo, jump on the plane, everything. Then by Monday I'm back in my classroom. I said people wouldn't believe this life,
That's a balance, though. You balanced it.
We can do it, and like my doctor once told me, it's amazing what we could do when we put our mind to it.
Oh yes.
Now summer is a big time for you here in the city. What do you have coming up?
Oh, I have some fantastic shows coming up. I am going to be at Shane Park with Brian Culberson.
Oh, wow.
I have a show coming up, the Detroit Jazz Festival, Paradise Valley Jazz Festival, Ribs and Soul Festival. Southfield Jazz Festival is kicking. I'm kicking that off this year. It's coming back.
Good.
I am so proud to be now chosen for the new spokesperson for Bricker Tunis Furs.
I've heard the commercial.
Yes,
I forgot to.
isn't it
I
cool?
heard. I said, "This is Kimmie Horne,"
And that's my original music back there too.
Oh wow!
Yes, song entitled "Meant to Be Mine." So I really was, I was a big part of making sure that the jingle was there. I put the jingle together. That is my music, and came up with the concept of, it was.
Hey, that's the beginning.
That is the beginning
of a whole nother thing.
That is the beginning. And as I've done other spokesperson jobs, like with Budweiser, when I was with Budweiser, so I've had great sponsorship with some
Bricker
great companies.
Tunas, they're gonna toss you a fur.
I already have my fur.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, I have my fur, and I have a couple that I have my eyes on, too.
I know you do. Shoot, I'm looking for my first that isn't just a fur collar. Okay, I'm silly. But this summer, and you're a fantastic outdoor singer. Some people can sing inside in the club, but you give such a show, and she does. She's dancing. She's doing everything. You're all over the place.
I am, and I'm very, very proud to bring my big band in. I'll have 12 pieces.
Oh,
I have a horn section. I had to have my horn section.
Now,
like
is your
Kimmie
brother
Horne.
still singing
My
with
brother
you?
still sings with me. Yeah, he plays percussion, and he'll be singing with me as well. I'm all about, family. Again, continuing, to push the Horne name forward.
Now, Kimmie, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where would you like to see yourself? Well, let's see yourself.
Let's see yourself. I know one of the things, or one of my goals, is to really win a Grammy with my original music. And that would be really special.
Well, are you planning a new album with your?
Yeah, I have new material now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that I'm working on. I just haven't released it yet, but we're putting all the final touches on it.
I want to hear that. I definitely want to hear that.
Oh yeah, and like songs like "My Dream Come True," "Meant to Be Mine." "My Dream Come True" is talking about, it's a love song, but it still talks about I'm living my dream. It has come true. It's really something, but I still pinch myself, and sometimes, how you say it's hard to transition over. Sometimes for me, I'm so excited with the process that it's like, okay, let me keep climbing. I can't just stay here, but I'm so happy too.
Right.
At every stage.
Well, I think that's important, not to settle, not to get lackadaisical about where you are. It's about the next thing.
Yes.
The next thing. What's next? In fact, every day it's a process life. What am I doing next? Where do I want to see myself? Let me take a chance. And you have taken chances
Along the way, every step of the way.
And what I like is you can't get enough of Kimmie. You can't get enough. You may go to one show Saturday. No, I'm serious. But you go to another show, you enjoying that. You sitting like you're looking for the first time.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yes.
it's like the Wizard of Oz. My mother used to say, "Why you watch that every year?" Because I can't get enough.
But you know what? That's really nice for you to say. And it also, for me, it's the same. It's exactly the same. Would you feel like you get something different every time? For me, I do too.
I'm paying attention. I am
really
paying
do.
attention. I say, "Oh, look at that! She didn't do that last time. I like
Yeah,
that."
it's all fresh.
Full of surprises. It's always fresh. And here's the other piece: the way she communicates to her audience. I mean, she's into her audience, and that
Yes,
makes
I
the
am.
audience feel so important.
Yeah,
I
am
love it
very-
when. I'm not one for much. Okay, sing with me. Hey, listen, I paid to see you, but
But you know what? And one of the things is I don't do that a lot.
I know you don't.
The wonderful. I
know you
really
don't.
think that is a natural, and I talk about that in the article too. I really feel like this is something that I was really born to do, and the audience participation. It's a very natural thing, and certain things that come to me are spontaneous, but I know also when to cut it
you
off
see,
and take
right,
the mic too.
right. Sometimes less could be more, but see, the thing is, you notice your audience, and
Yes.
you notice them,
Yes.
and you see them wanting to get into
Yes.
what you're doing,
Yes.
and that's
I
that
feel them. Yes.
participatory theater thing.
Mhm.
I love. So where next before I got to wrap it up.
Okay, the next show coming up is going to be you can pull it up on KimmieHorne.com, www.KimmieHorne.com.
KimmieHorne.com. Absolutely. And this has been great. I mean, I laughed so hard. Tears came out of my eyes.
That's a good thing.
I couldn't help it. Well, I love that. I love that. And ladies and gentlemen, join me again at 1 o'clock for Table Talk with Brenda Perryman. We're throwing some issues on the table today. Very excited about it. And Kimmie Horne, thank you. Because I reached out. When I reached out, she was in Japan. She was in
Yes,
she
but I
said,
told you, I said, Brenda, as soon as I get back, I'll be there.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please come back next week. We have, I have some surprises for you next week. I'm not even going to tell you about it. Just join me again at 9 a.m. next Friday morning, and we're going to take it out right now with, hopefully, we have some music by Kimmie. Oh, I didn't tell him. I thought I did, but I didn't.
I love you for sentimental reasons. I hope you do believe me, 'cause I'll give you my heart.
I sang with Kimmie Horne today. Me and Kimmie, we were doing a duet.
A duet.
She begged me. She said, "Please, Brenda, I can't do it without you."
That's right. I need you.
Okay. Good morning, heartache. You
Oh,
old gloomy sight. Good morning, heartache. Seems we said goodbye last night. Come on now. Wait a minute. I can't do this by myself.
I tossed and turned until you seemed I had gone. But here you are with the dawn.
Oh, I kind of harmonized.
Yes, you did. That's a good one, though. My favorite things.
Oh, yes.
Raindrops on roses, raindrops on roses.
I thank Mr. Henry Tyler because he didn't have to do this. And I'll see you next week. Say bye.
Goodbye, sayonara.
Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens.